Desmond Mason is in studio. It's the Desmond Mason Show. It's powered by somebody. I think it's Riverwind. He's sponsored. Riverwind Casino. He's sponsored. Look at you. He's all happy. He loves it. He loves coming in here.
So good.
He wastes an hour with us. So an hour he never gets back from his life, and he loves it. How are you, man? How was the weekend?
It was good. It was a little busy, but it's been good.
Well, I heard you were you were the MC. In fact, Steely, Jesse, and Rody were talking about this morning. You were the MC of the governor's ball, huh? Or the inauguration party.
Yeah, the inauguration yesterday afternoon. It was about 25 degrees out. Yeah, couldn't feel my fingers trying to turn the pages. But it was a huge honor. Governor Fallon called me while I was actually on a Mexico trip and asked me if I would MC her inauguration. This is her final term, and so I actually had to think about it for a few hours because it made me nervous.
Really?
You know, it's a big deal.
You don't just go and say yes immediately?
Not this one. I normally would just say yes or no, but I mean, it's a big deal, and I had to really wrap my head around it. It was live on OETA, and so, man, it was awesome. Though I was a little nervous, but once I got past it and cracked a joke or two, it was good. It was a great experience.
By the way, Urban Johnny is who sponsors the Desmond Mason Show. Apologies, Urban Johnny. Yeah, I know. I'm
Remember
sorry.
my dad, Urban Johnny.
That's right. That's right. I got to remember that. He said Desmond's dad. We call him Urban Johnny, and Urban Johnny sponsors the Desmond Mason Show. So. What did that entail? So I'm guessing you were all dapper in your coat. You probably had the long coat. Did you have the long coat?
No, actually, I had just a gray wool pea coat and gray pinstripe suit.
Did you go scarf?
I did go scarf.
Yeah.
You're a big time scarf guy, aren't you?
I like scarves. I think they're awesome. But it has to be long enough. It can't.
Yeah, that's his thing. Was it when he was?
I got a scarf in the car. If I bring it in, will you wear it and take a picture?
I would, yeah.
Okay, it says Manchester City on it.
No, absolutely not.
No, you're good. You already said you would. You can't go back now.
Okay, I'll take the photo, but I'll do something a little special.
You'll get one of your red
Remember,
pins.
he's got paint supplies in here.
Exactly right.
That scarf may not look the same afterward.
Get one of those red paint pens after it, huh?
Yeah. But that's pretty cool. Any other dignitaries there?
Oh, absolutely. All the obviously the governor, Mayor Dewey from Tulsa, Mayor Cornett, past governors, other elected officials. It was an unbelievable experience. But again, it was nerve wracking. But Olivia, I have to say about Olivia Kay, 11-year-old girl, just got a phenomenal voice. She sung. It was so awesome.
She was here for the playoffs last year too, wasn't she?
She also sung at that golf tournament we played at, remember?
Oh, did she play? Did she sing?
Remember
there
we
too?
played that golf tournament at Oak Tree. She sang the national anthem. It was the Wounded Warriors golf tournament.
She's something.
We just kind of joked around and had some fun. And I told her I stink at singing, and so as we were in the room just trying to stay warm, I talked to her into singing. I'm gonna put it on Instagram today, and I talked to her into singing the Cup song. So she sung the Cup song, and little kids out there know the Cup song. She sung the Cup song and actually did the whole Cup routine with her hands and sung it.
I've seen that on Facebook.
And she blew it away. It was incredible.
That's the difference.
Just for fun.
See, you totally what you did was you discriminated against non-parents because non-parents have no idea about the Cup song.
That is absolutely correct. They'd be like, "What bar? Cups? What?" Sharp.
But I have seen it. I have seen it on Facebook. They put a bunch of it's the kid version of us playing Flippy Cup, right?
It's just one cup. Yeah.
Oh, is that all? You know the game I'm talking about, right?
You're talking Flip Cup. Yeah,
Flip Cup.
It's just one cup, and she actually uses the cup to make the beat as she sings.
Oh, yeah.
So
you never heard the Cup song, Zach?
Kidding me?
I've heard it. I just I don't think I've got it memorized by heart.
I think the girl that sings it, she's one of the actresses in Twilight. I think her last name's Green.
Anna Kendrick.
I'm sorry, Anna Kendrick. Yeah.
Well, the next time you get recognized for something, I want to be your MC.
Wait, you peeling back too many layers, man. You know too much stuff. I can't give up everything.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a guy who got drunk with Kenny Chesney on a yacht.
Kenny Chesney. George Strait would kill you right now.
George Strait, yeah. It's a guy who
killing you right now. You just destroyed that thing. Flip Cup, Kenny Chesney.
This is a guy who got George Strait to pull out his guitar on a yacht.
This is the Cup song, Zach.
Put your hands together for Desmond Mason. Well, that sounds like a lot more instruments.
Well, you gotta hear the cup.
Keeping
in
the beat with the
background.
cup, though.
Yeah.
Clapping in the
I got
cup.
my ticket for the long way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Oh, this is not called the cup song.
Yes, it is. It's the cup song. Yeah.
Really?
You kidding me? Think I don't know?
It's
I
not
got two
called like
kids.
When
man.
I'm Gone or whatever they...
Parentheses, the cup song.
Yeah.
See, parentheses.
Actually, it's called Cups. In parentheses, when I'm
damn.
gone.
I'll be damned.
Yeah.
You learn something new every day. Yeah, I like that girl. I like that song. That's a good song.
Dead on Desmond, we like to call him. He was dead right about that.
You got to stop with the dead on stuff. He's been using dead on all morning.
That's so good.
All right. So Desmond Mason's in here. All right. So let's get some basketball stuff out of the way here. Now, first off, from Friday, the last Thunder game, they beat Utah.
Can I ask this first? Did you ever get a 5-day break besides the All-Star break?
We asked this while you were gone.
Oh, I didn't catch this.
Yeah, no,
Go ahead.
it was. I mean,
That's crazy
Maybe
to me.
once, twice in my whole entire career. I mean, maybe I can't remember if I did, but yeah, that's a long
Well,
break.
apparently you didn't go anywhere because it sounds like, I mean, at least if it's status quo around here with Scott Brooks, it doesn't sound like the players are going anywhere. Like they get to leave. Like they had practice yesterday. They had a community event Saturday, practice yesterday.
Yeah, they won't.
Reggie Jackson's about to get to go somewhere.
Well,
Yeah, he's got a nice
how
little
did
long
you-
vacation.
How did you react to that? In that game Friday, Reggie Jackson was not in front of Deion Waiters to come off the bench. Deion Waiters came off the bench before him. I think the first guy off the bench I think it was Kendrick, and then it was Deion. And Reggie came off late, and then late in the game, it was last 9 minutes. It was all Deion.
Yeah.
No Reggie. What does that say?
To me, and again, I'm outside looking in, but you know those situations. To me, it's they're working on moving him. You know, you don't want a guy to get hurt or him to go out and just play absolutely horrible, or you know his attitude gets really crazy and it kills a trade deal. You know, because people are still watching. So I just think that. You know, it's kind of protecting, you know, if it's not done within the next, you know, if they can't get a deal done before they get back and start playing again, you know, you watch that first game back and see if the same thing happens, and then it's a for sure. But I mean, I think it's a for sure anyway. He's gonna be gone soon.
You think it'll happen that soon? That quick?
I don't know. You know, Sam he's methodical. He's quiet, but I promise you, he's been working on it for a while. You know, he's just very, very smart, and he takes his time. And so in saying that, he could be gone before they get back, and if not, then it'll be soon after for sure, I think.
Did you get to watch any of the? How much of the game did you get to watch? Did you get to watch much of it? The Utah game?
A little bit, not a ton of it.
They're still kind of
Yeah.
just discombobulated. I don't know, but this all the easy way to do this now in terms of in terms of like everyone's recap and what they're looking at with the Thunder now, their breakdown of the Thunder is, well, it's tough to put it all together when you've got somebody, you know, that's brand new that's going to start playing 25, 30 minutes a game, and Deion Waiters, because I think Deion had like 25, 26 minutes in the game.
Yeah.
That's not all that is, though, is it? I mean, because this precedes that, right?
No, it's just, you know, lack of rhythm and chemistry and cohesiveness. You can see it on the floor. You can see it when things go a little haywire. You can see they can't quite pull it together fast. You know, it takes somebody making some unbelievable plays before they get their energy back, as opposed to saying, hey, fellas, like they used to do, hey, let's just settle down, get into our offense. And I think that also comes with bringing a point guard off the bench that can really slow the game down and control the game. And it's not really looking to score too much. So, you know, there's just right now they're struggling with having rhythm. And a team like Utah, there's just, one, they shouldn't have lost to Sacramento. Two, no way Utah's that close in the game. They stink. I mean, they're not very good. And you can just see Oklahoma City, they let teams hang around. And when you let teams hang around, you can be beat.
By the way, we did not talk about this before the show either, Todd. Did you guys see what happened between, and I just left my screen, between Kevin Garnett and
Dwight Howard?
Dwight Howard last night?
Which one of those two is the fake tough guy and which one's the real tough guy?
Both are the fake tough guys.
Oh, gosh.
Really?
I would say Dwight more so, no?
They're both fake tough guys. You mean
So
who's the least fake tough guy?
No, who's more fake?
Who's more fake?
Who's more fake?
Because he said which one is and which one isn't.
In the
They
fake
both
rankings, in the fake
both are.
tough rankings, number one on that list is, according to Desmond Mason,
number one on that list is Dwight Howard for sure. He's just really big and he acts like he's tough. He's
So
not tough.
after
Neither
the
one of them.
game, nobody went to find anybody.
No. You know, I mean, they didn't want to hit anybody. They didn't even want to push. I mean, those guys, you get tangled up and a little.
Well, you know they
bumping
didn't want to hit anybody. They threw the basketball.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw that.
Fake ball up.
Kevin Garnett threw the basketball at Dwight.
Yeah.
With Dwight's back to him. Dwight turned around. I will give this to Kevin. Kevin came right up to him, gave a headbutt. I mean, that was
That's the second.
headbutt is like the weakest
That's like the
thing
second headbutt he's given somebody in his career. He's done it before with the headbutt. I don't know if you remember. I can't remember if they were playing. I can't remember who they were playing. I think it was Minnesota versus Sacramento, and a little guard and Kevin Garnett got into it, and the dude looked at Kevin Garnett and just swung on him. And he just like sitting right in the middle of the game. And I'm like, and Kevin Garnett did nothing. So you know, it's just
well, give me Desmond Mason's fake tough guy rankings. That's what I want. Come on, fake tough guy rankings.
How many we got?
You got to give me 4. Let's do 4.
Well, that's 2 of them right there.
All right. Well, are they 1, 2?
They're high up there on that list. Richard Jefferson was one when I played. He was fake tough.
All right, Richard Jefferson. I'll put him 2. I'll put Garnett 3.
Let me see who else would be a really good one. Good tough fake.
Fake tough guy.
I don't know. There was a lot of them. Kobe's one. Kobe acts like he's,
Kobe.
those guys, they go and they start taking boxing lessons and they think they're going to work in a real fight, and they just don't work. When you get hit in the mouth, all that boxing the technique goes out the window. Your eyes water.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. When you become discombobulated, the boxing technique sometimes goes right out the window.
You get smacked in the nose and your eyes water. There's no ref.
2 things. First of all, Anthony Peeler's the one that hit.
Anthony Peeler, that's who it was.
that hit Kevin Garnett. Give him an elbow, like an MMA elbow up to the face. What about anyone on the Thunder that you would consider a fake tough guy?
He's trying to get me to go there.
I'm not trying to get you in trouble.
There's some that walk the line. We'll put it that way.
Yeah. See, if theater of the mind here. Let me peel back the curtain for the listeners. Like when I saw Dez's face after that question was asked, immediately at least one name came to mind. Immediately.
I just said there's a couple guys that walk the line, but
then he ran it through his filter, and he's like, it didn't go through the filter.
I played with guys that were just they didn't tolerate the things that go on in the NBA today. They didn't do a lot of talking. They played hard. I mean, I played with Anthony Mason and Oakley, and I played with and against all those guys, and there was not very much talking. Like if guys got into it, you would just turn around and they were into it. There wasn't a lot of talking and running them. I mean, you turn around and guys would be fighting. You know, it's just guys played hard. They played tough. It wasn't a lot of touch fouls. A lot of guys, being protected. When you drive, you breathe on them. It's a foul. Like that just didn't happen. Nowadays, that's the case, and guys pump their chests out and get in each other's face. And I'm not promoting fighting, but don't pretend it. Just play basketball.
Well, nowadays, too, stuff that's a offense that gets you ejected from the game. Back in the day, it used to be, offsetting technicals, everyone settled down. Now let's play the ball back,
Yeah.
I mean, there's stuff now people are getting, well, even in college basketball, last year I remember OU played Michigan State early in the season, and Cameron Clark for OU goes up for a shot, elbow hits a guy in the face. It's a blocking foul because the guy came up into him. But because his elbow hit him in the face, it's a flagrant the other way, and Michigan State gets the ball. I mean, just stuff like that, It's gotten very basketball's gotten very sissy.
It's touchy, and it's the intent too. I know you want to protect players. Like I would never condone guys going up on the players, putting their foot up on the guys when they jump and they come down on ankles. I mean, guys know what they're doing. I mean, players are really smart. Taking a guy out of the air, like that's just those guys are very vulnerable in those positions. So I think they warrant those fouls and those the intense fouls, the flagrant 1s and 2s, but. Like, the rules now on a flagrant 1 is ridiculous. Like, the fact that they have to go over and stand in front of the monitor for 45 seconds because a guy accidentally hit a guy. And you can tell it was an accident. It was a play on the ball.
Right.
It's ridiculous. It's just getting to the point where it's too much.
No, so you're scratching Todd right where he itches because he hates all the monitor and everything. The games are taking forever.
Well, the integrity of the game goes away. I mean, the hard part about reffing the game, and again, I think in plays that are deciding factors in games, you have to look at those plays. I think you have to call those plays right. But the hard part about reffing, especially when we played, was it was instinctive. They made the call that they thought was right. Sometimes they got them wrong, but at the end of the day, the good refs will come and say, you know what, I missed that one. Mm-hmm. But they made the call the way it happened in that moment. They didn't make the call and be like, oh, hold on, let me go back and check real quick to make sure I was right. Like, just call the call. Last 2 minutes of the game, yeah.
Someone on the text line says, ask Des the 4 toughest players.
Well, yeah. We I think we had the conversation off air, though, didn't we?
We may have, I think. Yeah, I think we did.
Last week, I told Dez, the way I worded it was, give me your all NBA, and I give him all of time. I give him active or inactive, but give me your all NBA dark. I called it the dark alley team.
That's right.
Where you'll take these are the 5 guys Dez wants to have his back in a dark alley if something were to go wrong, and that would be.
I had Ron Artest.
You did.
I had Derek Coleman.
Oh, that's right. You said
I told you the story about Derek Coleman when I was a rookie.
Sneaky tough.
Yeah, he just doesn't say very much. But I was a rookie, and I went up to get a rebound with him, and he's kind of threw his elbows up, and he was like, "Get away from me, little guy." And so I turned around because I'm like I can hold my own. So I turn around to Derek Coleman, and as I'm starting to take a step toward him, Vin Baker grabs the back of my jersey, and he's like, "No.
You don't want any of that.
You want no part of that.
Yeah, that's pretty good."
Derek Coleman's one. Ron Artest. I had Anthony Mason. I had Charles Oakley.
Yep.
And who else? Oh, Vernon Maxwell.
That's right, because I told you
Max.
I told you had a he has like a legitimate that. Those 5 could be on the court at the same time.
Yeah,
right? I mean that's a legitimate dark alley 5.
Right before I got to Seattle, a little bit before I got to Seattle, Vernon Maxwell chased Gary Payton off the court through the weight room with a 10-pound weight, and he ended up hitting Xavier McDaniel on the wrist and hurting his wrist, but he was throwing weights at Gary Payton. They got into it on the floor.
Throwing weights.
10-pound weights, yeah.
Dude, what the hell was going on at some of these plays? Like, how much? It seems like in Seattle, you had some serious attitudes on that team.
We did, and that was those days were before me. I played 1 year with Vernon Maxwell on the court, but he was on the opposing team, and I was guarding. And I remember the referee kind of just puts the hand, to get the ball's out of bounds. Vernon's about to take it out. The ref hands him the ball, and he kind of just puts his hand like on your low back. Just here's the ball. And Vernon Maxwell looked at him and smacked his hand off of him to the referee. And I'm like, what is wrong with this dude? But in Seattle, man, we had some guys that would go. Shammond Williams, Ruben Patterson, Art Long, Vin Baker, myself, Rashard Lewis, Gary Payton, Joe Forte. I mean, we had some guys that, they were all team, but if it was going to jump off on the court, I like my team.
Could the Pistons Pacers brawl, could that have happened with your Seattle team?
No. Those boys were crazy, man. I'm telling you, Steve Jackson is crazy.
When he said all dark alley team, I thought immediately you were going Ron Artest, Steven Jackson, Jermaine O'Neal.
Yeah, Steve
2004 Pacers.
Well, Steve is definitely honorable mention. I played with Steve in high school. Well, we played AAU. He played for the Houston Hoops. I was Dallas Texans, Team Reebok. And Kenyon Martin was on that team as well. We had a bunch of crazy guys on that team. But
I always thought Steve was just like, kind of like you, where if you get involved with a teammate, it's
a teammate thing, yeah. He a Houston boy, man. He can hold his own. But Jermaine O'Neal, I don't know. I mean, I've seen him kind of get into some scuffles, but it's been really late in his career. Early in his career, he won't no parts of anybody, and now I think he's late in his. I think he's getting old and grumpy.
Get some of that old man strength.
That was protecting his team though. Because he wasn't really involved in all that. It just kind of started to spill onto the floor, which is where he was throwing punches. Steve Jackson ran up in the stands with Ron Artest. I mean, they went crazy.
So do you enjoy that type of basketball, the real physical basketball?
Oh,
I do. That's just the way I played.
So were you old enough? I mean, you're a little older than I am, the bad boy Pistons.
Yeah, I watched them.
Did you really get into that?
I watched them, yeah. I think some of the stuff that they used to do was a little over the top. I mean, like the time they cow roped Michael Jordan going to the basket.
Oh, yeah.
Like some of that was a little.
And all that stuff.
Right. Some of that was
a little
that's the stuff I talk about that nowadays. I mean, you're suspended probably for 6-8 games.
They fine you, no pay.
Yeah. Do you ever look at the the Bad Boys documentary on 30 for 30.
30 for 30.
And they show the fines that the Detroit Pistons racked up for that year in 1990 and the final total for the entire year. Now, granted, you got to throw in inflation. Mm-hmm. But for 1990, I think the total was like $38,500. Total. Which would be what? Maybe 100,000 now? Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
And they were in straight brawls. I mean, Bill Laimbeer was getting thrown out of every other game. They just let everything go back then.
Yeah, I mean, it was it was like the rule, like no blood, no foul. I mean, it was, you had to really get hammered for, you go to the basket and they just take you out of the sky and it's just like a normal foul. It's just a regular foul.
Yeah. Like, no blood. So you're
and
good.
you think about it too. Like guys got injured then. Let's be real. They got injured then. But it wasn't like guys that get injured now. I mean, most guys, they get injured getting off the couch now. I mean, it's just like they get hurt all the time. I mean, some of these guys that come in, you barely touch them. They're rolling around on the floor like somebody sniped them from the top of the arena. But back then, you get hit hard, and guys just shake it off, get up, and continue to play. I love that
Because they got
basketball.
up and wanted to fight back then.
I love that. They were waiting for the
Yeah.
next opportunity. I love that type of basketball.
One of my favorite things ever was Johnny Most, who's the Celtics old play, but the one that and now there's a steal by Bird. Sounds like he smoked about 5 packs a day. This is a clip of Johnny Most when Bill Laimbeer hard fouled
Oh, I know what.
Larry Bird.
The most something call I have ever seen.
Yeah.
There is a violent knockdown by Laimbeer. Oh, my. A completely unnecessary foul by Laimbeer, and he has the audacity to complain about something.
His voice is great.
So good.
Oh,
He sound
my
like
gosh.
an old mobster.
Oh, he is 5 packs in on the day before he calls that call right there.
Oh my God.
So give me, and I'm sure because I haven't lived here forever, so I'm sure people that have and have watched you play, whether it be in college or in the pros, probably are going, come on, Zach, you should know this one. But give me the on-court fight story from college or pro that you were a part of that was like, whoa, that was a little more than just your regular scuffle.
Well, it was actually, I mean, this is when I played Oklahoma State, we had close practices, with Coach Sutton, and I was a freshman, and I was coming in to prove a point, and I had a bad attitude. I was just a young guy that was trying to make his way and, coming from the streets and so on and so forth. And so I get to Oklahoma State. It was close practice, so nobody really heard too much about it. This is the first time I actually told a story.
Nice.
Which is good.
An exclusive.
So Jason Scare was he was on that Final Four team, and so we're in practice. I'm really playing for his position, and he gets hurt. I start. I have about 4 or 5 good games, and when he comes back from being hurt, he's expecting he's going to start. But Coach Sutton didn't start him, so we are now going through practice a couple days, and campus is empty. It's over Christmas holidays, and he's just kind of upset that he hasn't got his position back. And he was a vet on the team. And so he didn't, I kind of kept it together for a long time with him. And finally one day the ball goes out of bounds, and we're hustling for the ball and we're scrapping for the ball. And he just basically pushes me into the media table that was still up from the game. And I almost flew on the top of the media table. Well, I lost it. I mean, it was like blackout. I literally started chasing him, and I grabbed him. I slammed him on top of the media table. We fell over the media table into the stands.
Really?
Freaked him out. I mean, I totally freaked him out, but I was so upset. And I was a strong guy, but I was thin and just wiry. So I threw him over. I mean, we're full-blown fighting. Coach Sutton does nothing but, lift his legs up out of the way. He's like, what are you guys doing?
You're doing it right underneath him?
Oh, no, we flew past Coach Sutton. And, I mean, you got to ask Joe Atkins about it. He was there, obviously. But that was the biggest one. And then that next day, I think it was the next day.
I was going to say, what happened after?
Well, we wake up the next day, I think it's the day after, and Coach Sutton gets a phone call, and it's Jason Scare's dad. And Jason Scare packed up and left that night and never came back to Oklahoma State.
You're kidding.
He went to Rice. And his dad's like, Jason, whatever is in his locker, you can keep it. He's not coming back to Oklahoma State. And I was like, good.
Wow.
Bye.
Yeah, I'm sure you're all right with that.
It didn't bother me.
Like,
he wasn't
now
getting
full-time starter.
He wasn't getting that spot back. It was over. all I needed was my chance.
Oh.
But that was a big one. That was the big me. But we had so many fights in college. That's why we were a brotherhood. And but those are the ones. Coach Sutton had close practices, and I mean it was literally a fight. That's why we played hard and tough, because it was the Big 12 was no joke. You had to play. OU, Iowa State, Texas. I mean, you had to bring your A game every night.
I just love picturing Eddie Sutton
With his
moving
feet up.
his feet up in the air, like moving out of the way. Like,
he's got the sweatsuit on, so it's making those
stop
sounds.
it over there.
He's moving those legs. That Nike sweatsuit.
Desmond Mason with us.
Zach missed the golden years of Big 12 basketball, didn't he?
So good,
With
man.
Gabe Manecki and
He was my roommate.
Rinzai Stone
Gabe
and-
Manecki was my roommate in the All-State game. And, I knew he was crazy. This was when we were in high school. And I remember...
now that's your all-college dark alley team, right? Gabe Manecki?
Gabe Manecki, Eduardo.
Yeah.
I would definitely have Jamal Tinsley. I would have him, Kelvin Cato.
Jamal Tinsley. Oh, Cato.
Oh, man,
yeah,
you crazy.
of course.
Tony Battie. Like,
Yeah,
those guys
Tony
were
Battie,
crazy, crazy. You know, Ira Clark. Ira Newble. It was Ira Newble. That was the Texas, I think it was.
Yeah.
Big boy.
Yep.
Yeah, but the Big 12 then, I mean, there was not one team. Only team that you can go and toss around a little bit was Texas A&M.
Well, you told the story about Renzai and Gabe Manecki literally punching each other
Oh,
as they're running down the court.
Yeah, right. And I know Renzai. If you out there listening to Renzai, I know you do. I know you remember. You guys, I'm watching the game at home, and they fell half court, and the rest of the team was running down, and they get up, and they're like slipping, falling, punching each other, trying to get up. I'm like, what's going on in this game? They gave Gabe anger management after that.
Oh, my gosh.
The
that
Big
is so
12,
great.
The Big 12 did. They told me he had to go to anger management.
All right, before we go to break here, I guess, breaking news. Bobby Jack Wright has now officially retired, the longtime assistant coach for the Oklahoma Sooners football team. Here's his quote in the release. It's truly been an honor and a privilege to coach at the University of Oklahoma the past 16 seasons. I've worked for a fabulous man and a great friend in Bob Stoops, who has been wonderful to me and my family in so many ways. It's truly been a blessing to compete alongside so many talented student athletes and coaches at Oklahoma. Our family would like to express our most sincere thanks to President Bourne, Joe Castiglione, and everyone at the University of Oklahoma, as well as our many friends and great fans across the country who have supported us and our team over the years. Our 3 daughters all graduated from OU, so there is no doubt that the Wright family will remain Sooners to our core. We'll continue to represent the University of Oklahoma with great pride and passion. So there you go. Bobby Jack Wright is now out. John Shin tweets this of the other 8 assistants from Stoops' 2011 team. Only Brent Venables is currently an on-the-field coordinator. That'll change, though. Well, maybe not on the field. That'll change with Heupel, right? If Heupel gets a OC gig somewhere, but either way, it'd be 1 or 2. So, good stuff there. All right. Desmond, by the way, people are texting in like crazy. I will tell you what they all want to hear now that everybody's got questions for Des. After all those stories, they want more stories. So story time with Des continues. We'll talk about Oklahoma State basketball, the current team, and ask him about that team as well. And he came with preparation. He sent me a text this morning. I got to ask him about it. We'll talk about it next. Desmond Mason. Oh, all right. Desmond Mason with us. Todd came into the other side. He wanted to do more storytelling during the break, so he came in here and
it's too good, man.
We have
That's
good breaks.
It's too good.
Oh, yeah, the breaks are fun. And, of course, we're getting all kinds of feedback from everybody on the text line and on Twitter. Brian on Twitter, I had a picture on my wall of Darwin Alexander forever when I was a kid. He was throwing a punch in GIA. Let's see. And now everybody wants, because we gave Todd during this segment, we're you know what we're doing? I kind of feel weird doing this because we have what we call our top 4 segment, which was totally a play on the college football playoff and that committee. And so we just said we're going to start our own committee and we're going to do our own top 4s all the time. But now we did the dark alley team and we did the fake tough guy team for Desmond Mason, that now multiple people are texting and tweeting going, this is awesome. What about Dez's top 5 all-around great guys? Or maybe top 5 practical jokers? So what about practical jokers? That's a good one. Let's do practical jokers.
Top 5?
Yeah, you got 5? Can you do a whole team?
I think I got 5.
Let's do this. I'll put this top 5 practical jokers. I'll put his starting 5 up against the dark alley team starting 5 that he's got, and we'll see which one would win a basketball game.
Okay. Let me see. Practical jokers. Gary Payton was 1.
All right.
Brent Barry was 2. Vin Baker was 3.
This team's going to lose.
Yeah, they're totally going to lose. Let me see who's another good. Tony Kukoc was 1.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, Tony was good. He was subtle, but he was good. And then let me see who else will fall in that category. Oh, no, Michael Redd wasn't bad. Me and Michael Redd used to joke a lot of people when we lived in when we played in Milwaukee. So Michael Redd.
You said he was gullible too, though, right?
You could get him too. I
anything.
would get Mike just every time. He knew it was coming, and I used to just like Mike.
He
really?
was the Eric G of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Oh,
Come on now.
Well, Kelly's always messing with Eric, and about half the time he believes it.
Yeah.
Kelly is the. I mean, if Kelly Gray was a basketball player, he'd be on that list, right, Zach?
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Kelly will come up to me and just go, "Hey, did you hear about Jordy Nelson? He accidentally cut himself with a hunting knife." Just something crazy like
Some
that.
random.
And I'm like, that's too random to be made up. It has to be true. And I'll get online and I'll Google Jordy Nelson. There's nothing.
Jordy Nelson knife.
There's nothing.
Come on, knife.
That's right. You know, there's Google's looking at their searches going through, and they're like, somebody just typed in Jordy Nelson hunting knife. What the hell is that all about? All right, so give me a story. You got any practical jokes that were just over the top? Practical jokes
we talked. I didn't tell you. I kind of hinted at it in the break. One of the really good ones, and it started a whole season of just gross, funny, fun stuff. And Vin Baker was using the restroom before practice, and he was, sitting on the toilet reading the paper. He's got his shorts on and his jersey, hanging on the door, and so he has the stall closed. And Gary Payton, as he's reading the paper, Gary Payton and Brent Barry fills up a Gatorade bucket of ice water. Then they go to the stall right next to him, and they stand on the toilet and they dump it on him before practice. And Vin Baker just said, "You don't even know what you started."
Vin Baker did the first ice bucket challenge. He didn't even realize it. He did the first one, though.
He did. He didn't even know he did it. So So after that, man, he started doing some bad. Bad
he didn't like it, huh?
Yeah, I mean, guys used to throw, like, Vin Baker came to one game with a peach suit on, to a game, and Gary Payton saw it. As Vin went out to warm up, Gary took it, threw it in the trash, and dumped Gatorade on it, red Gatorade. And he said never. He said never wear this to the game again.
Oh my!
He bought him another suit, but he's like, never wear that to the game again. He dumped it in the trash. So Vin Baker went home with his warm ups on.
You know what happens when you
He
do
got
that?
picked on.
When you do that practical joke to Dikembe Mutombo, when you pour water on him in the stall.
Oh yeah. Have you ever heard that sound?
No.
Do you know who that is?
Who is that?
It's Dikembe Mutombo.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's him doing the ice bucket challenge. Listen.
It's cold.
It sounds like Sasquatch.
Play the whole thing. Yeah, oh my God, he's the Cookie Monster. That's what he is.
Exactly right.
Accept the challenge for the Commissioner Adam Silver, Michelle Nunn, for ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. I'm donating $500. But I challenge Alonzo Mourning, our Deputy Commissioner Mark, and my friend Todd Jacob. You guys got 24 hours. Let's go. Cold.
I love cookies.
He really is, though,
He's
isn't
so
he?
good. He's an awesome guy. He's such a good guy.
He is. He's
He's
super,
such a good
super
guy.
nice. It's great.
Oh,
all right. So let's do a couple of things here before we do the top four and continue your painting in the next segment. Let's start with. All right. Explain to me this this text you sent me this morning.
Oh yeah, it's and I thought it was awesome. There's a guy named Greg. He's a movie producer. He lives in New York now. He used to. I think he used to live in Seattle. Huge Seattle Sonics fan. So he wrote a couple of movies and sent me the scripts. And in his first movie he wrote and released called Four Corners Road. There's a character Desmond, and then there's also a character Nick. And I was his favorite player in Seattle, and Nick was his second favorite player in Seattle. So he put our names in the movie. So he wanted me to actually play in
Nick
the
Collison.
Nick Collison, I'm sorry, yeah. So he wanted me to play in the movie as another character. So that one didn't work out. Just timing was bad. So he just wrote a new movie that he's going to put me in. Well, in the interim, him and his wife got pregnant. And so they just had their son. So he named his son Mason after me from playing there. But it was kind of cool how he did how he kind of got to the name, and I sent it actually to a friend this morning. It's Mason, so it's like my son, Mason, and then it's Nick with Nicholas. My son Nick. So he did his like my son Mason.
Is it spelled
Nick.
M-A or M-Y? Is it Mason?
Mason spelled the same way, but it's kind of like his play on the words.
Got you. My son
Nick. But it was my Sonic.
Oh,
So it was kind of cool how he did
That
it.
is
So
cool.
my son Nick, but it's my Sonic. So that's his name, Mason
that's
Nicholas.
Cool.
So he's
How about that?
Yeah, he's a really cool guy, very talented guy. So I wanted to say that. I just got to follow this today, and it's a beautiful son. And
Yeah.
I mean, he's a big time fan and very talented writer and producer.
And
as
lives in
well.
Seattle?
He lives in New York now.
Oh, New York now.
Yeah.
Got it. Well, that is very cool. So look, you got yourself a namesake. That's very cool. That's
I
very
mean,
cool.
yeah, people name their dog. I love that. I've had people come up and say, "Oh my God, I named my dog after you," and I'm like, "Thanks."
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, I named my dog Desmond. I'm like, "That is so awesome." Thank you.
What? Give me
So
give me the weirdest fan encounter while you were playing. Like they asked for something or
No, I had a guy that used to write, and I mean, literally 15, 20, 30-page letters.
What?
Saying he was my dad
Get out of here.
from Atlanta. He used to write, I mean, literally, I went from Seattle to Milwaukee. He used to write 15, 30-page, these huge
Get
envelopes
outta here.
saying he was my dad. And I would sit there and read them. He's like, "Son, I'm so sorry I couldn't be there. And, me and your mom, blah, blah, blah." I mean, literally.
Are you
long.
serious?
So I showed it to my dad. My dad's like, "What's his address?" And I'm like, "Nah, I can't give you that. I'm sorry, Daddy. I gotta keep you in the free world. I can't let you know." But he used to write saying he was my dad. But I had other teammates that I've had people write me and ask me if I would pay their mortgage.
Right.
Would I help send their kids to college?
Right.
And you just know they're just gaming, just the audacity to ask somebody that.
Anybody have a tattoo of you that you know of?
No, not that I know of. No.
Bet there's one out there.
Did you ever I'm trying to think of other weird, not as crazy as that. But let's go.
You had to
For
sign
about
body
5 or
parts?
6 years. Yeah,
5 or
I have,
6
but nothing
years?
inappropriate. Yeah.
I mean, 5 or 6 years.
Writing, yeah. I mean, from my time
How
in
often?
Seattle to maybe like once a month.
Wow. What'd you ask? I didn't hear it.
He
If
said,
he had signed any body parts.
yeah, I said nothing. Yeah, I
Oh,
have, but
yeah,
nothing
that's-
inappropriate, though.
No breasts.
I've signed something. No, I haven't. I would always say no. I mean, I would just say no. That's just inappropriate. I've signed a guy's forehead with a Sharpie. I thought
What's the
it was
point
funny.
of that? If you wanted to stay.
I thought it was funny.
I guess you
It
could
was
take a
like,
picture of it.
Hey, he's like, "Please, man, please." I'm like, "All right, do whatever."
Do you want to hear? Do you guys want to hear Houston Rockets players impersonate Dikembe Mutombo?
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, let's do
This
it.
is Shane Battier. I think Luther Head's in here. Chuck Hayes. This is obviously not current Rockets
Right,
players.
right.
Louis Scola's in here as well.
What are you talking about? What, coach? I am 45 years old. Do not make me run wind
That's
sprints.
Shane Battier.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Yo, Rook.
Here's Aaron
Come
Brooks.
here, Rook. Let me talk to you, Rook. Luis Scola, my friend from Argentina. Well, I've played in this league 20 years. I do not have to run. I have too much experience. Do what you do best. I've been here 16 years. Make sure you do what you do best. Hey, my brother, you know you got to help me out.
There you go. Those are some of the-
He's always making references to how long he's been in the league. He's one of those guys.
Because everybody
you-
thought he was like 100 years old.
Everybody knows that guy. That guy in your workplace that'd be like, "I've been here for 20 years. Let me tell you how it is." You know what I mean?
Did you ever cross paths with Greg Ostertag?
Yeah, but in the NBA, yeah.
That dude, from covering locker rooms, he is legitimately one of the funniest guys I've ever been around.
He is pretty funny.
Really?
He's
Oh
pretty funny.
yeah.
I don't see
Have
him
you seen the
funny.
movie Eddie and the character?
Yes,
He's that in
yes,
real life.
yes, yes.
That's what he is in
I
real
gotcha.
life.
He's
I
funny.
gotcha.
Here's Rick Adelman also
I talked to him for 10 minutes on the phone, didn't understand a thing he said.
talking about the Dikembe Mutombo.
All right. What does Des think about Oklahoma State basketball? And we do our top four. We need to help you, or you need to help us. Help us out right now with your top four. We're doing in honor of Urban Meyer winning the national championship last night for Ohio State. Top four Myers.
We already know top four Urbans. Urban Johnny, number one.
That's right.
Urban
This
Meyer,
is
number
sponsored
two.
by Urban Johnny. The Desmond Mason Show, sponsored by Urban Johnny. Top four Myers. Text them in 88474. Just start your text with the word text, or we won't see it. Or tweet them at Big Easy, at D Masonart, at Todd on Franchise. We do all that next. Desmond Mason's in here. I was asking during the break a couple things. First off, let's do Oklahoma State. What are you thinking about them so far? They just beat Texas. They're 2-1 in play, in league play. That is, I don't think that is anything. What we've seen in the first 3 games is anything that we thought we were going to be seeing, right? Out of this Oklahoma State team going in, or no?
Yeah, no. I mean, they're playing really good basketball. Travis has them, clicking on offense. LeBron Nash is being really aggressive. Forte is just, playing lights out right now. And same with Nash. He's putting the ball on the floor more. He's not selling for so many jump shots like he's been doing the last couple of years. He's found his niche on the team and where he fits best. When you look at what Coach Dickey has brought in, he's brought that defensive emphasis, and they've kind of created a little bit of an identity. I think they still have a long way to go, but they're stepping it up and they're helping each other on defense. And I can see some of the philosophies that are coming in, or some of the philosophies that are part of Oklahoma State teams defensively. You can just see the rotations. You can see guys picking up a little higher on the floor. That's just how we played, and that's how you play good basketball. You create turnovers to create offense. But right now they have a great rhythm going, so I'm really happy for Travis. He's had a long road up until this point with his teams, and
it's a big year for him.
He doesn't have the most talented team, but they're playing the best basketball they played in a long time, consistently on both ends of the floor. They just had some really talented guys the last couple of years that were able to put the ball in the basket, and they won games. But when you see them play now, this is how you coach. You take guys that aren't the most talented, and you make them better by helping each other and really learning the game of basketball. So I'm happy for him, and I'm also happy for the fans at Oklahoma State as well. And
really quick, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask about the Thunder and the latest scuttlebutt. I always love to use that word. You never get to use scuttlebutt. Scuttlebutt. This is fun.
Throw it out there.
Yeah, good time to use the word scuttlebutt. That the trade rumor out there is Reggie Jackson and Jeremy Lamb for Jose Calderon. Good? Yes? No?
I don't think it's a bad trade as we talking.
If it happened.
Yeah, if it happens. If he has a few years left on his contract at, $7 million or so. Kendrick Perkins comes off the books at, I think, 9 and some change. He won't get that back from this team. So if he's going to stay at Oklahoma City, then he's going to have to take less money. That can help that number. I think Jeremy is just honestly, I think Jeremy Lamb is a really good player. I just think, the situation here is not a good situation for him. He's not going to grow as a player on this team. Right. It's just better for him to go somewhere else where he gets some solid time to play and really develop his game. Reggie, I think his time is up in Oklahoma City. It's mentally he doesn't want it. I think in the long run they're not going to be able to afford him if he hits the market, so they're going to move him now. They should move him now. They may move him now. But Calderon is that guy we talked about. When you need Russell to sit down and kind of slow the game down, Calderon is a good guy to have. He knows the game. He can run that point position. He makes good decisions. He's solid. He's a veteran. So, you need to get some guys that can slow it down. And plus, you got another guy that can put the ball in the basket if need be. But just a really smart player. So I don't think it's a bad trade if it happens.
All right. Let's get her done here, Ty. Let's do it.
Hey, what's poppin', motherfuckers?
Between the college football playoff,
This your boy Antoine D9 coming back to y'all.
bracketology,
So I'm gonna tell y'all what's the top 4.
or just those silly power rankings,
Well, how about this? Let's see.
we're always ranking something.
I'm gonna do the top 25.
But we haven't ranked this.
All right. If it'll tell me here. All right, here we go. Well, anyway, forget doing that. I'm gonna give you the top 4.
It's time for a brand new and likely terrible top 4 list on 107.7 The Franchise.
I had a tough time with this one.
Now we're including Meyer or Myers.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
It can be Meyer singular or Myers plural. Top 4 Myers in honor of Urban Meyer.
And don't give me Meyer Cornett. It's not the same. It's Mayor Cornett.
Yeah, if you had that one down, Des, scratch it off.
God dang it.
Scratch it off. All right, so top 4 Myers. All right, Todd, you go first. Let's go 4-1.
All right, I've got number 4, Seth Myers.
Okay, yep.
Number
Seth
4
Myers.
on my list.
Yeah.
Number 3 on the list, the fictional character Michael Myers.
Okay, yeah. Michael Myers. I think Des is mad because you're stealing all his.
Number 2 on the list, the real Mike Myers.
Yeah.
And number 1 on the list, you got to go with, my bologna has a first name.
Yeah, it's OSCAR.
It's OSCAR.
That's right.
My bologna has a second name. It's MEYER.
I think we're all. Well, I think there's going to be a lot
Oscar
of.
Mayer has a way with BOLOGNA.
I think there's going to be a lot of overlap because I don't think there's a whole lot of great Myers out there. Now, just missing the list for me was Myers Leonard. Although I don't know where the hell he came. He came from Illinois, but I didn't think he was going to be any good at all. He's
Breckenmeyer also just missed my list.
Yeah, Breckenmeyer.
Jonathan Reese Myers also just missed the list.
All right, Des, give us your top 4 Myers. Top 4 Myers.
Well, Todd took some of them, so let me see. I got a couple extra. Let's go. I got to say Seth Myers. I had him. I'm not going to leave him at 4.
That's all right.
I had the Myers-Briggs personality test. I had to take that when I was in Chicago.
Wow, the Myers-Briggs personality test. Well done.
I had Jonathan Myers, Bend It Like Beckham. My daughter loves that movie. He's an actor. And my last one, which I'm a huge Mafia guy, Meyer Lansky.
Who?
You don't know who Meyer Lansky is?
No. I'm not into
Google
mobsters. No.
Google him. He's yeah.
Did you know Todd?
I've heard the name. I don't know his biography, as it were.
Oh, there he is. Yeah, there he is.
Yes, he is.
He definitely looks like a mobster.
He is a mobster.
Does he look like
Known
Chuck
as the
Pagano's
mob's
dad?
accountant.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Chuck Pagano's dad. That was glorious. Him with that cigar. All right, very good. Very good. All right, here's mine. Mine is Myers-Briggs, though. I got to give you props for that one. Personality test, right?
Yes, it is.
Let's see. Were these? Oh, I think I've got one in front of me. I think I have found one in front of me. A Myers-Briggs test.
Does Rick Myrer, would that have worked, or is that too far off?
Is that the old quarterback?
Yeah.
You are almost never late for your appointments. Is that the kind of questions they had? You're almost never late for your appointments.
Yeah.
You like to be engaged in an active and fast-paced job? Yes or no? You enjoy having a wide circle of acquaintances? Yes or no?
I'm going to take this test, and I'm going to find out.
It's a good test. It's the big one.
Holy cow, 72 questions.
It's a little bit.
It's like, yeah.
We had to take it before the Chicago Bulls made us take it when we came to work out for them. I think it was after Dennis Rodman. They wanted to make sure everybody was the same.
No more crazy people.
Yeah, no more
All
crazy
right, my number 4, I'm going Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer, after his 3rd national championship, throwing Urban Meyer up there into my top 4 Myers of all time. My number 3 is Seth Myers. My number 2 is Oscar Mayer. And my number 1 is not any sort. It's not any Mike Myers. It's Austin Powers.
Nice.
Austin Powers is my number 1.
Well, you can't.
Meyer.
It's not. Austin Powers is not a Meyer.
Yes, he is.
That's weak.
Yes, he is. That's not weak.
That's weak.
That's not weak.
That's so weak.
How is that weak?
Because Mike Myers is the real
Austin
guy.
Austin Powers is a Meyer.
If we did top 4 Powers, you can go with Austin Powers. But if we go top 4 Powers, you can't say Mike Myers.
Boy, I tell you what. Yeah, sure I could.
Top 4 Powers would be good. Screech and Austin would be right there at the top.
Well, and I mean He-Man. I mean Superpowers. I mean He-Man, Inspector Gadget.
Power
powers.
Rangers would be up there.
Power Rangers would be a good one.
Yeah.
See, put that in our holster for the next time.
I still think Screech is number 1.
So I go 4 Urban, 3 Seth, 2 Oscar, number 1 Austin Powers. Hey, it's my list. So you can screw off with whatever you think over there.
Your list is basically like if the college football committee said, all right, here's our top 4 college football teams: Alabama, Florida State, Oregon, and the New York Knicks. Because Austin Powers is not a Meyer or a Myers.
That is not the same thing.
He's scrutinizing your list right now.
Yeah. Hey, look, I don't. You know what? I don't give a bleep about what you think. It's my list. It's my list. So you can eat it.
Running for president: Barack Obama, Mitt Romney, and some guy from Europe. He can't win.
Yeah.
But I'm putting him on the list. He's not eligible, but he's on the list.
Killing you right
It's
now.
my list. I don't care.
Oh my God.
Let's see here. Let's go to the old Twitter base here. Lane Meyer from Better Off Dead. Are you all familiar with Lane Meyer? He sent a picture. The guy does look familiar, but I can't remember what else he's been in.
I can't believe Oscar Mayer was only on 1 list.
Oh, he's on mine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, your list is null and void, though.
You got to stop with that. Hey,
It is.
it's a very important list. Oh, Lane Meyer must have been the character's name. But who was that actor? Who is this actor right here? Do you know that actor?
That's John Cusack.
John Cusack. There you go. Lane Meyer from Better Off Dead. See, now you can put John Cusack in there as a
No,
Meyer.
you can't put John Cusack in there as a Meyer.
That's right. Throw him in. Let's see. Who else? Let's see. Somebody else put Austin Powers. Boom! That's from 12 minutes ago, too.
Okay,
Attaboy.
somebody else was wrong.
Way to go, Michael.
Congratulations.
Way to go, Michael. Thank you for the
It's like in
backup.
class when you go, what's 3 plus 3? 7. Well, they said it was 7 too. So it must be right.
JJ on Twitter. See, there's a lot of overlap here. I don't think there's a lot of Myers. Mike, Michael, Oscar, Seth. Is what we
That's
get
my
from him.
exact list, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Good job stealing it.
Did not steal it.
Jonathan Rhys Myers. Is that the same Myers you were talking about? Jonathan Rhys Myers?
Yes, it's him.
R-H-Y-S?
Yep,
Yeah.
RHYS.
I see Russell Ramsey. What does that mean?
I think that's the name of the guy that sent the text in.
Oh, that's from Russell. Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Well,
Way to go.
Now we just gave your first and last name out. Thanks a lot, Russell. Appreciate that. Mr. Ramsey.
I mean, what a moron he is sometimes, Desmond.
I love this show.
Yeah, that's right. Mike Myers, the actor, number 1, according to this texter. Number 2, Michael Myers, the character. Number 3, Seth Myers. Number 4, Jonathan Rhys Myers. Yeah. See, I get it. We get more Michael Myers.
You could also put
all
on
we
the
got.
list Late Night with Seth Meyers.
The show?
The show could be on your list, although I think it's not that great.
Oh, it's not bad.
Of course, if you're doing it your way, you could just say Saturday Night Live's one of my favorite Myers. I mean, Seth Meyers was on Saturday Night Live, so
No, I could say late night. You just said late night.
because his name's in the show.
No.
Late
it's
Night
just-
with Seth Meyers.
It's late night. We all know that.
I love you.
Where's Seth Meyers from? Massachusetts. That's one of my favorite Myers.
Jerry on Twitter
He's
says.
from Massachusetts.
Jerry on Twitter says Meyer McCheese. I think it's Mayor McCheese. I mean, it's the whole mayor thing from the old McDonald's. That's back in the day. You know, McDonald's used to have a guy, with a hamburger for a head, but it was the mayor. It was the mayor of it was Mayor McCheese, not to be confused with Meyer. Sorry, Jerry.
Meyer Cornett is one of the best ones, though, without question.
Meyer Cornett. That is good. Everybody else putting Oscar Meyer. That's all we got. That's about it. All right. Good job, everybody. Well, not good. Actually, I'm lying. It was
Except
an
for you.
It was an okay job. I didn't do very well, apparently, but it was fun. Dez, how you looking over here?
It's good, man. I'm just working, adding some more textures.
Look at that.
Yeah, man. It's good. It's starting to come together nicely.
All right. Hey, I'll tell you what this.
It'll be good by the end of
I'll
this.
tell you what this brain sees here so
What do
far.
you see?
I see a dude with a gold tooth.
Yeah, that's right. I gave him a gold tooth today.
Yeah.
Took me back to my Texas roots. It's my uncle.
That's not Urban Johnny.
No,
That's not your dad,
No, my
Urban
dad
Johnny,
don't
is
got
it?
no. My dad got all his regular teeth.
All
He
right,
got
all
to
right.
go.
Just making sure.
My mama wouldn't allow that.
That's the Desmond Mason Show, everybody, with Urban Johnny. Sponsored by Urban Johnny with Desmond Mason. Appreciate it, man.
Absolutely,
Always
man.
fun.
Who was fathered by Urban Johnny.
That's right. Fathered
Or
by
that
Urban
guy
Johnny.
that sent him 15 30-page letters. Who knows? One of the two, right?
I know. I get them so confused.
Oh, surely you saved one of those big long letters.
I'm sure it's somewhere in some old fan mail, but I'm just saying.
Oh, you got to try to find that.
I totally try to find it.
Oh, I have to.
We'll get the guy on the air.
Yeah, I was like, no, you won't. No, you won't.
Like, Des, we have a surprise for you. It's your long lost
Your
dad.
daddy in Atlanta.
All right, we come back. We are so late. Gosh, our boss is going to kill us, and I don't even care.
I'm gonna kill
I
you.
don't even care. He's going to kill me. Yeah, Des is going to run out of here.
See you guys later.
That's Desmond Mason, everybody. We talk about the College Football National Championship and Oklahoma's new offensive coordinator next.